Hi, I'm Doug Mackenzie for Fintech Finance, and we're here today at the pre-conference of EWPN's event over in Amsterdam. So we're going to find out more from some of the workshops that are going on here today. I know it's just really started, but how's it been for you so far?
It has been great, actually. We have just attended one leadership track event, and it was great, like seeing how women have fight to get like good positions inside the companies and how they have dealt with a lot of men.
We're hearing about diversity and how much diversity is important in a company and how much a company can gain if they're going to be if they're going to embrace diversity. And we've heard people lecturing about equal salary for women and how women should step up and don't be afraid to negotiate. And it's very important conference.
I feel this is a really great platform that has been created for us, not just women, but also men. It's really somewhere we can be comfortable at home, understand each other, learn from each other, get motivation, but also get mentors. And today has been incredibly great. We really discuss about leadership and leadership potential of women and why women are not highly represented in the finance industry or in fintech and payments. And we think the solution to this is also us women, who are there to really encourage, the others, but also create really a safe environment where we can mentor others and be there for each other.
So, Andrea, how did your talk go?
Hopefully the talk went well and everyone enjoyed it. I think the key thing for me was just getting over the message why European women in payments is really important, why we need to be here and why we need to keep championing for change.
Absolutely incredible. So can you tell me, what has Europe been doing in terms of helping women get into the payments industry, which is becoming such a fast-moving, fast-paced industry?
Yeah, so I think we provide a really good base for women to come into the industry, network, we provide mentors, just general introduction, guidance. We have a lot of SMEs across the board, the women's board here, that support other women who want to come into the industry, but more importantly also supporting men.
What more can we do in payments to really bring in women from the grassroots to really enable it to reach the boardroom?
It's a great question, and I think there are multiple things we can do. All of us in our lives create legacies every moment with every action that we do. As senior women, and I mean senior as in reached a good height rather than old, obviously, is the fact that we have a responsibility to break down the barriers, drop the ladder for the women that follow behind us, to make it easier for them than it was for us. In addition to that, we need to be helping college graduates understand that payments is a great and thriving industry. And alongside that, the majority of women leave the workplace to have children and don't understand that it's possible to come back. MasterCard has a Returners to Work program which helps women in a way that is equitable to their time demands and gives them the opportunity to try new things and be successful on their re-entry into the workplace.
can you tell me what can diversity really bring, not just to the board, but the general culture of a company?
Yeah, so look, I mean, it's well documented now. It's not just to the bottom line where diversity adds value, but actually corporate governance. I mean, there's a lot of evidence that shows now that actually having women in senior roles, in key positions, as well as on boards, that companies make better decisions. There is someone who's willing to give a different perspective than maybe what we've had in the past. So there is a benefit to having women and diverse groups amongst the whole of the leadership team, all the way down.
So, Ricky, can you tell me, what have you got in your hands there?
I got 2 amazing awards. One is the Fintech Startup of the Year award, and the other one is the Diversity Award.
Congratulations on winning both of them. So,
I'm so excited!
I can believe it. So I've got to ask, what have you been working on over the last year to really qualify you for those 2 awards?
No, I mean, I think Coinify, we received the highly commended award last year for diversity. Because we have a 50-50 split between male and female in our fintech startup. But we worked very hard on getting a woman on our board as well. We didn't have that last year. And we continue to promote diversity within Coinify, not just male and female. We also have quite a lot of different nationalities, and we focus on that in our hiring process. Even though we are based in Denmark, which is a small country, and so on. So no, I think we have made a conscious choice to build a great company this way.
We just won, Fexco has just been nominated and awarded the Pink Chip Employer Award at the European Women in Payments event in 2019. We're absolutely delighted. It's great to be recognised by your peers. We were up against like MasterCard, Credorax, PaySafe, so we're absolutely delighted. It's testament to the natural inherent policies that we have at Fexco about diversity, inclusion, respect for the individual. So we're just delighted to be recognised by our peers.
What do you think it's going to do for consumers in Ireland and the UK? And do you think it's actually going to even maybe fuel inclusiveness and diversity going in the future?
I guess that's the hope, that that's what we eventually lead to. I think there's probably a misconception that we're going to have this big bang approach and that everything's going to be fixed come the end of this year, and I don't think that's the case. I don't think people are ready for it, but I think at least we're moving in the direction where people are starting to have the conversations about how they can be inclusive, and I really hope that it sees a spark and a rise in innovation as well, especially from a Fexco point of view.
So, can you tell me, what award have you just won?
It's the Trailblazer Award from EWPN.
What are you excited for at EWPN's main event tomorrow?
I'm in the leadership program. I'm in the leadership track, so I'll be sharing some of the pointers that I can share from my experience. Hopefully, that will drive the audience to better education and producing that better level of graduates for the society and also for the industry, for the country.
I won the Young Innovator Award category, and then I have done some interesting things in the fintech space. So I created the first and only book about fintech in Turkey, which started the movement in Turkey and make decision leaders.
So, Mark, can you tell me, what award have you won here today?
I've just had the honour of winning the Positive Troublemaker Award. My mum would tell you I've been a troublemaker since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, but it's finally come and I've won an award for it, which is brilliant. And the positive thing is really important.
I've got to ask, how does a compliance officer get the Positive Troublemaker Award?
It's a good question. So for me, or in general, I think the award is more for all the work I have done next to my job for diversity and inclusion. 1 year ago, I started in Austria, where I'm from. so I live in Vienna. I started with networking groups with 2 of them, called, one of them is the Fintech Ladies. It's an organization from Berlin, and I brought it to Vienna, and we started here with one of the first meetings. Soon after that, I became country ambassador for the European Women in Payments Network. Also organizing network groups, bringing women together for networking, for personal exchange, for just knowledge exchange, and for creating their whole network environment.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That was really interesting. I learned a lot, but the main conference is going on tomorrow at the RAI, so catch us there.
Before I start, I really want to congratulate the winners again of the awards, because it was a fantastic event. Thank you very much, Nadia, Marta, Sylvia, Miranda, for organizing this. It was a real fun event. It was a little chaotic, but what do you expect with so many ladies in the house, all want to sit at a different table and want to eat something else. But it all worked out. Nobody went home hungry.
Morning, everybody. I'm African, so according to our culture, it's very rude for the host to eat before the guests, and we wouldn't be here if Tracy didn't host us today. So before I officially kick off the event, I would like to invite our host, Tracy, to say a few words.
I'm going to go out front. The power position. It's a bit scary. That was my first initiation with public speaking. I had to open the Las Vegas Money 2020. There was about 6,000 people in that audience. And so I decided that I would hide behind the lectern, and the stage manager walked me to the front and said, "No, you'll do it from the front." It was absolutely terrifying, but I did it, and now I do it quite a lot. So I will stand in the power position, as they call it.
Now, you've obviously just come off stage here at the EWPN conference over in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
How was that? What did you discuss?
Well, I talked about innovation, talked about the role that women can play in innovation, and a little bit like what I just said, right? If you want to be a successful partner within the ecosystems that are reality of today, right? It's no longer about command and control monopoly structures. It's about working and collaborating with other partners in a broader ecosystem. I mean, that plays right to a lot of female characteristics, which is building the relationship and the trust to be a trusted partner within that.
Now, we've spoken with all the winners from the event, but who really, to you, stood out from all the awards? Who really claimed their prize in your eyes?
Well, actually, I have to say that I think that everyone that's shortlisted, is a winner. I think also Martha said that this morning during her keynote opening. They are all just amazing women and companies that are making a real effort to make a change in the industry and to support our cause. So I would just praise all the shortlisted, so not just even the winners.
Amazing. Now, before the award ceremony, there was also a series of workshops going on.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about the thinking behind that?
Yeah, so I think one of the important things is also that you bring you bring certain action to people, right? They need practical advice, Talking just about payments and fintech, that's all good and everybody learns from that. But also, just small things on how you develop as a person, how you do personal branding, how do you handle certain leadership tactics, I think that's important too. And then you want tangible action items, and that's the purpose of those workshops.
Yeah, I think the industry has to wake up and realize that they don't represent the realistic consumers or the people that they're designing the products for. So if it's the industry itself is not inclusive, that means they're not understanding their consumers, so they don't have the insights and inputs from this segment that they're trying to create products for. So it's not rocket science, it's common sense that you're designing products for people, you have to have the representation of this certain amount of people. So we're seeing more drive, and the consumer now is on the driver's seats. They are pushing the fintechs and banks and financial institutions to take into account what it is that they want as consumers. So whether the industry wants it or not, consumers are driving the change.
I think of diversity actually in the difference between the different age groups. We've had quite a lot of discussion actually both in the research that we've done and here at the conference about the generational divide. So how people want to buy today, the younger generation, I'm talking about Gen Z because there's been a lot of talk about millennials. Well, millennials are in their 30s now. And we're actually seeing a stretching out of the workforce because people are working a lot, to a lot later. A really good friend of mine is, he'll be 82 this year and he's still working in the job in a very senior role in London, quite happily. And then you've got people, Gen Z in the workplace now. So how can we get these different generations working together seamlessly, but how can we understand how the shopping habits, for example, or the payment experience that is expected of a Gen Z is very different from what's expected of these baby boomers.
So the last thing that I will say is, at the end of the day, a lot of people say that they don't come to this event because they think we're going to be talking about women only, diversity only issues, but we have exceptional experience, expertise, founders, people with, running companies. We have a lot of experts within the community. So it's not just, there's a few men who've attended and also a few women who've said that they will not be interested in attending this event. It's not just we talk only about issues about women. We do talk about that. We can go from, like yesterday we were talking about how you can go from talking about issues with pregnancy to talking about fraud and checkout. It's one and the same. You don't leave your humanity when you come to work. It comes with you. You're a person, you're one and the same person. So let's try to create that environment that allows us to be human and experts at the same time.